All right. Wake up. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I just had to do. Oh, I had my lunch, and next thing I knew, it was 10 to 12. I was right out, and it was 11:47. And when I woke up, my eyes wrong. I thought it said 12:47. I thought I slept through the whole damn thing. Hey, Jameson, yeah, rematch. I don't got a good feeling about this one tonight. I do not. I think Edmonton's going to come in and want this game a whole hell of a lot more than we are, simply because they lost four straight. And remember, I believe it was last year when we finally beat Vegas in Vegas last year, because we were all jacked up, pissed off about it. And without the chicken chug, we'll see. I'm assuming Bob's in net. Does anybody know what they did at the morning skate this morning? Um, we'll have to see what Maurice is going to throw around out there. We haven't heard anything from Chucky either. Hey, Braves fan, we're just Chucky is just there. There's no words. Bob's in net. Thanks. I figured that. I figured Maurice wasn't going to do that. Wouldn't surprise me if we saw Spencer again on Saturday, though, being that we play again on Monday. Well, we'll see. Maybe he'll want to get him into some kind of a groove. All right. Hey, Choppers, Chucky would have loved to be in tonight's game. Hopefully, we can keep the Oilers in their loss streak and come out with a W. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Edmonton's going to want this one. We don't do so well. I know it was only a one-game road trip, which is stupid. But a lot of times the first game that we play at home, like against the Kraken was at home, right? The Kraken was a home game. And then we went to Nashville. We don't do so well those first games home. Metal says, I'll be at the game tonight. I made a poster with a ketchup bottle that says, be very afraid on it. For context, McDavid is he's afraid of ketchup. He's afraid of ketchup. Steven, perhaps we're operating in 3-game segments. We won 3 against the Oilers. They won 3. Now we've won 2. Tonight we'll tell, right? Boy, don't remind me about those 3 games. That was just, it was too much all at once. Like, them losing those 3 games while everything that was going on with Fluffy, it was like I was in some kind of Twilight Zone. I was like, this can't be really happening. Lil J, yeah, I mean, of course we want to get to 2, right? But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all tonight if Edmonton brings it and we're like, whatever. Never know. Without Chucky on the ice, you just don't know what mentality is going to be. But the young kids are keeping it up, right? Sam Skevich sort of keeping the energy up for that. So that's one good thing. Hey, Rosado. Metal says, hard to believe that series was a week and a half. It felt like a month. It did. It really did. It was I wish I could say I want to relive that, but they have to win again. They have to win again for me to have a normal experience of them winning the cup. The irony of them winning after all these years, that's when they win the cup. You know, with what was going on with the dog, that's just like, you can't write that script, man. Like, if you handed in that script to the movie writers, they'd be like, come on, nobody's going to believe this. Nobody's going to believe this. Oh, you're awake, Kyle? He's awake. Jameson says, I'm calling an E-Rod goal tonight. So yeah, well, yeah, in Chucky's place, sure. Sure. I mean, he's not Chucky, but I mean, he can get the job done, right? Certainly, they probably felt like Rodriguez was going to be on that second line, but in Sam Miskevich's spot, I don't think they anticipated Mackey doing as well as they did, or as he's doing. Chopper says, Jaws, I hate to say it to you, but I've been seeing too many things about the possibility of Seth Jones coming to the Cats. If that happens, I think that might just be Zito's first mistake. I don't know. We gave up a first for Sherrod. But no, I don't. I mean, I guess it depends on what we give up, right? What are we giving up? Like, I would hate. Does he have term, or does he have term? We've been looking it up. It's all right there. Good Lord, what? Wait, no. Wait a minute. No, we wouldn't. Why would we do this? He's 30 years. He's in year 3 of an 8-year deal with a cap hit of $9.5 million. Nah, Zito wouldn't do that. That's got to be bullshit. Zito ain't going to trade Uyghur and Huberto. I mean, Zito's not going to get Jones. You know what I'm trying to say. I just woke up. Hey, JC. Why in God's good earth would we do that? Unless we're going to swap Ekblad? But that's still, why would we do that? Little J says, the only trade I accept is Jones to us for future considerations and 50% retainment. They got to do a 3-way. He's got to be it's got to be a third retainment. We got to do a 3-way. They take a third, the second team takes a third, and we'll take a third. I don't even want to pay half. I want a third. Yeah, just a rumor for Seth Jones. That can't be. Why would he do that? Bill, don't make me make one of those videos imitating you. Braves fan says, I'd rather just keep Ekblad at that point. Exactly. Yeah. What are we going to do? Have an Ekblad-Jones bottom pair next year? How bad would that be? All joking set aside, if we had an Ekblad-Jones bottom pair next year, who signed him to that deal? Good Lord. $9.5 million. Lil J says then, okay, Jones Schmidt bottom pair could work. Yeah, if they're going to do it in thirds. But I guess my point there is that, does anybody think the difference between Balinskis and Jones is the cup? That's the question. So otherwise, well, he's got all that term. It's not even a rental. He'd be on the team for another 4 or 5 years. Colin says, Pomo said they're waiting on the final word for Kachuk. How long does it take to read an MRI? They must be seeking second and third opinions, which means Chucky didn't like the answer they gave him. Metal says, send Jones to Dallas at 50% retained, then get him from Dallas at 50% retained, then go get Rantanen at 50% retained. I fail to see the issue. It depends on what's going back the other way. Chopper says, Ekblad at 25, 4th, and a 5th to Chicago for Donato and Louis Crevier. Donato, yeah. No, that's got to just be a bad rumor. Who's saying that about Jones? That's got to be a bad rumor. Come on now. That's just, man, I hope not. I hope not. Yeah, Damien says, you want Marchand? I think a few people here don't agree with that statement. I think it'd be fun. But I only really wanted Marchand if Chucky was going to be out for the whole, like if he was going to miss the playoffs and everything. If he's going to be back, I don't want to take Samoskevich off of that second line. Lundell, Lusterine, and Marchand. What are you going to do? Put Marchand on the fourth line? Meadow says it's a real thing. We've been eyeing him. It's been reported by multiple insiders. What do they know? The Puppets told me we're not getting Seth Jones. I just made that up. That would be brutal. That would be terrible. There's no way. I mean, is he a righty? Is he a righty? Shit. You think they're going to try to replace Ekblad with Seth Jones? I mean, does he have a no move clause? Because what are we going to do? Pay for him now and trade him again in the summer? What the hell? Why would Zito do that? So he was that yes, he's got a no move clause. So then we couldn't just give him away. Oh, that don't make no sense, man. He's going to be 35 when his contract expires. What's his numbers? I mean, obviously, Lil J says I don't think we'll get Jones. Hopefully they ask too much. I mean, I don't even want him for free. All right, he's got 7 goals and 20 assists. It's not the end of the world. He is a big dude. I don't know. Now that one I can't figure out what Zito would be thinking. Because even at half retained, that's almost $5 million. Oh, they're going to put him with Mikkola. They're going to put him with Mikkola. He wouldn't be for the buy. They would put Chucky on LTIR and go get Jones for Mikkola at half price, maybe third price. And they'd leave Jones. It'd be Mikkola Jones. Is next Friday the trade deadline? Stuff should be done before then, right? That's why he's looking at Jones, and then you go Kulikov, Schmidt, or Kulikov, Balinskis. All right, hold on, let me see. Braden Schneider. All these young kids are going to cost too much money. Brandon Schneider, let me see. If they're I can't see today. Where the hell is it? Oh, the dude from the Rangers, 23 years old, 6'3", 208. But he's got to be an RFA at that age. Come on now, bring it back to me. He's got to be an RFA. 2-year, 2.4. Let me see. Yeah, he's going to be an RFA. Rosado. See, they're going to. His cap hit is only 2.2, but that's like when Lundell's cap hit was only 1.5, but we still controlled his rights. Somebody like this going to be an arm and a leg. These teams, like we were looking at Bowen Byram, they're not just going to give us their 6'2" 6'4" right-handed Ekblad replacements for free, right? I mean, especially you talking about the Rangers, Sabres. These teams aren't going to give us their big, strong, young defensemen that are going to play for cheap. They're just not going to do it. Trey says they will if we give them Mackey. Well, yeah, no shit. Trey's accurate there, but F that. Okay? F that. Strap me on some stilts. I'll play defense. You can't trade Samoskevich. Screw that. That's the thing with those kids. Yeah, they're cheap, but that's because they're just kids. Rangers aren't. I mean, is he getting playing time? Trey says just give him Sordiff. Now I would trade Sordiff for a 6'4", 23-year-old Ekblad replacement, 24-year-old Ekblad replacement. If we felt he was going to do the job, I'd make that deal for Sordiff. I like Sordiff as a player, but Zito hasn't exactly been drafting a bunch of defensemen. You know what I mean? We are loaded on forwards, but in terms of defensemen, it's not so much. Amanda says Mackey looks like he got stronger over the course of the year. Yeah, I agree. He looks like he put on a little bit of weight. Absolutely agree. Metal says Mackey for Jones. Don't ban me. Rosado, Rosado, the thing is, because he's saying might as well not trade for anybody at this point. The thing of it is that the position that we're in, like everybody in the league was wondering what the hell Buffalo was doing helping the Chiefs. You see what I'm saying? There's nobody in the Eastern Conference. Maybe Buffalo might be stupid enough, but none of these teams that are competitive are going to help us. We're the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Well, Buffalo, wouldn't that be funny if it was Buffalo that would help us? It'd be both Buffalo franchises that were the dummies that helped the champs. That could happen. Damien says we need defense. Schmidt is slow. Don't disagree. All right, hold on, Chopper. My eyes are giving me a lot of problems today, so bear with me. Chopper says, all right, so Chucky goes on LTIR. We take Donato and Schneider and send Schmidt to the bench permanently. Win the cup again. Go to the offseason. Trade Donato and Ekblad in a first. Now, I can personally guarantee you, Chopper, that if we traded Donato, Ekblad, and a first to Ottawa for Brady Tkachuk, there would be riots in Ottawa. There would be there would have to be more included, significantly more included, by probably Samoskevich, who's not going. Yeah, Jameson says Buffalo has been tremendous help for the Panthers' recent success. I'm sure they'll oblige. Hey, fake news. Right, Jones isn't improving over Schmidt. But remember, he's got 5 more years. He's got this year and 4 more years. He's got this year and 4 more years. He's going to be signed till he's 35. Like, if they gave him to us for free and it was at a third of the salary, maybe. But I don't think they're looking at Jones to replace Schmidt. I think if they're going to spend that kind of capital, they're going to put Jones with Mikula, and they're going to put Kulikov with Schmidt, and Balinskis is going to be the guy off the ice. Not saying that's what I would do. I'm saying that's what I think that Maurice would do. Trade he through that. Metal says Schmidt takes 2 to 3 business days to retrieve the puck once it gets cleared on the power play. I know. Can't fault the dude's effort, though. Chopper says at this point, the Panthers should just absorb the Buffalo Sabres like how the Minnesota North Stars absorbed the Cleveland Barons in 1977. Well, The Seth Jones thing, that not for half, man. First of all, the only way we can even take Jones at half is if Chucky's on LTIR. And if we take Jones at half, there's no effing way we're keeping Bennett and Ekblad. So I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about for next year. Unless Ekblad's going to play for like $2 million. Because Bennett's going to want at least 7. Hey, Simon. Well, in terms of the NHL trade deadline, that's what we're trying to figure out, brother. Everybody trying to talk me into say that's why I don't go to Twitter. Actually, this is a good example of why I don't go to Twitter. Because I probably would have already made a video being all pissed off about the Seth Jones rumors. It's not bad. It's not good for my mental stability going on Twitter. There's too much stupid shit. What is he thinking? I mean, forget the fact of whether I'd even want him, and forget the fact of how we're going to pay him. I don't want to give up assets. Does anybody in the chat think the difference between a Stanley Cup? Does anybody in the chat think that, okay, now we got Seth Jones, now we're good to go, and now we're going to repeat? Does Jones make that kind of a difference to where right now you're thinking we can't repeat because of Schmidt or Balinskis, but with Jones now we can? Rosado says no. Lil J, what do you? Exactly. Right. So then why do it? Right? Why do it? Why do it? That's the point. Don't make any sense. Can there be a 4-way trade where by the time we get him, it's only like $1.5 million in salary? This is an honest question. Can you have more than a 3-way trade, or is 3 the maximum teams? Can he go from like Chicago to Dallas, Calgary, to Boston, to Florida? Can they have more than 3? Fake says Schmidt will cost you a game in the playoffs. Yes. I don't disagree. But honestly, I would just instead of trading Kierstead, hell, I'd put Kierstead back there, put Bornfoot back there, somebody that can skate. Metal says can't retain more than twice. Well, how do we get to Simon? There's no fishing yet, man. No fishing yet. It's not warm enough. There's still snow on the ground because it gets so cold at night. It hasn't all melted. So no fishing yet. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 1 to 2 weeks. Maybe 10 days. Next weekend, probably not. Water's going to be pretty cold, but I might go through the line anyway, just to get out there. Aaron says, I don't understand people not wanting Jones. How does that not make our defense better? Mikula and Jones would be a ferocious pair, and puts Kulikov on the third pair. He can Kulikov for power play too. Well, I mean, a lot of people don't like him. That's number one. Not like him personally, but they don't like the player. For me, it's his contract. He's got this year and 4 more years. So even if you get him at half price, that's $475 because his deal is for $9.5. So even if we get him at $475, we got paid out 4 more years. That means one of Ekblad or Bennett is gone. We can't afford that unless like I said, Ekblad's going to play for $2 million. I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying that we can't I'm saying maybe now, but he's going to be he's going to be um 33, 34, 35 when the contract expires. I mean, maybe it'd be a movable deal, but I don't really want to give up assets. I don't know. To me, if you're paying him that much money, my concern is that it's downward. In other words, um, if you're paying Jones that much money, my concern is, does that mean we're going to throw Bennett away? Because I don't know necessarily if we have the money to, unless they already have like a deal in place with Ekblad that he's going to take like $2 million, right? Because if you're going to pay Jones that kind of money and let Ekblad walk, guess where Jones is going? He's going to go next to Forsling next year. That's my concern, is if you're going to pay Jones that kind of money. Remember, Gustav's only making not even 6, right? What are you going to pay Ekblad? I don't know. Well, there's a lot of mixed opinions, Penty. It's hard to tell because these guys are on crappy teams, right? And it all happens, and it's all about the system. Look at the difference between Rantanen in Colorado versus the Canes. He doesn't suddenly suck. Look at the difference between Huberdeau with Florida or Calgary. It just depends on what the player's skill set is and does he fit that system. It's hard to look at a guy, how they're playing right now on a shitty team, and say that guy must suck, right? When you look at the names on the Penguins, anybody would take Crosby, Malkin, Carlson, yet combined, they're in last place. You see what I mean? So I get what you're saying. I mean, there's a mixture of opinions. So I'm just tired, Vincent. I'm not feeling great. I should have let Kyle do the stream. I'm just not feeling great. Yeah, we both went yesterday, Simon. I got there in the morning and I was able to drop him off yesterday. Penty says Jones can be a really solid top 4D at worst. Right, yeah. Meadow says it's all about the contract. If Jones was making $5 million on Chicago, I think the thing with Jones is that that's the exact kind of contract we've stayed away from. If they can do it 3-way, and then what are we giving up? What are we giving up to get him? Vincent says, remember Jones used to play with Bob for Torts in Columbus. Yeah, Jones' money is like Carlson. Do you want Carlson? Well, the thing with Jones is that's an investment. That's who's here. You know what I mean? He's staying. He's not going anywhere. So I'd have to look at what the cap situation was for next year. But what I would be concerned of is they're going to pay Jones, keep Ekblad, and the odd man out is going to be Bennett. That wouldn't make any sense. Chopper, let's see. Patrick Kane of the Cats would win those overtime games for us. Connor McCann win an overtime with Kaner on the. I don't think we're going to be getting too much in the way of forwards. Mackey's kind of solidified that, where I don't think we're going to. I mean, we need something for the fourth line. Does Chicago have anybody that would be? Here's a way to talk me into Jones. Does Vincent? I'm talking about at half price. I'm talking about at half price. That's still a problem. Is there anybody in Chicago that would be a good, viable fourth liner off the bench type of guy that they can add in to sweeten the deal to make me want to do it. Because right now, when Bill calls, I'm saying no. Lil J's got about that's kind of my opinion there. I consider Jones for basically free, but you're smoking something if you think I'd lose any assets for him. That's my other thing. Is you could lose the player that you're trading, and you're going to lose. I mean, unless they're getting him to be the Ekblad replacement. Unless the plan is now, if you're going to bring in Jones to put him next to Mikkola now, Forsling next year, and move Ekblad down to the bottom pair for $2 million. But yeah, people think Dallas will get him anyway. Dallas will probably have more assets to give, right? Fake news says Chucky injury is a state secret. When's the organization going to put him on? Somebody had said it here yesterday, where basically you probably won't see that move made until we have a trade in place that we want to use his cap space for whatever reason. I don't know why. The Panthers do things a very specific way. You know, you can tell Viola was West Point. For those of you who've been in the military, you understand what I mean when it's just like, it doesn't matter if it makes sense to do it B, C, A. If the book says A, B, C, you're going to do it A, B, C. And you can be five of you standing around arguing that you know it would be making more sense to do it B first, but the book says do it A first. So we have to do it A first. So for whatever reason, they're going to hold off on that. I think it's just to piss me off, honestly. You know, and they make it tough on the writers, on George and the guys. It's like, just give us some news, man. Craig says, I'd be talking to Seattle, bring back Montour, half retain, and Tanner for a fourth line grindy guy. But yeah, I'll do that. Oh, that would be so sweet. How many years did Montour get in Seattle? Wouldn't that be something, though? Because that's why we lost him over that amount of money. I'd rather have Montour than Jones. Shoppers got a three-way trade. Nate Schmidt and a first to Chicago, Jones to Dallas, and Esa Lindell to the somebody's getting screwed there. Oh, he had a girl, Sophia Lustarainen. I like it. All right, so Rosado's got two trades. Pente, Montour got 7x7. You guys have to forgive me. Remember, when free agency was going on, that's when I was literally burying Fluffy. So I don't remember much of it. Jeez. Yeah, no, that, god dang, he got paid, huh? He gave him 7 years? Wasn't he already like 30 or 31? Holy crap. Rizal says, here's my two trades. Nosek, a fourth for Achari, Schmidt, Kierstead, a second, and a fifth for Snow. Kierstead's not an asset, though, buddy. I wish he was. Now, the Nosek, well, we can't do Nosek. We can't do Nosek for Achari. We got to have both guys. We need an upgrade over Nosek, but we need bodies. Now, the Schneider one, that'd be a good way to get the New York general manager fired. 7 years. Jeez. Oh, they already sent Sordiff down? You dummies. Why'd they send them down? I'll shut up. So it's more important to keep Jonah Gadjevich on the ice on the fourth line than it would be to let Sordiff stay up and get some playing time. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. Come on, man. Let Gadjevich sit his ass on the bench and let Sordiff get some ice time. Sometimes. Damn it. That sucks. Vincent says that's why Bennett will also get 7 also. Yeah, that makes sense. iDog says, Mackey for Cale Makar? I don't know. I don't want to trade Mackey. Simon says, what deal would I like them to make? I don't disagree with Rosado's idea about Achari as bench depth. He doesn't put us over the edge. I thought we were going to let Sordiff get some playing time, but that ain't going to happen. So he's not going to be bench depth. Just one guy. We need one extra winger to be depth off that fourth line. And apparently we're going to go get a defenseman, but I don't know about Jones. Yeah, Lil J, I kind of agree with that. Kierstead or worse, Belinskas, yeah. Vincent says they can't allow Sordiff to get hurt now. Shit. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't like your point, Vincent, but you're not wrong. I see what you're saying. Damn it. Yeah, I don't like that. I agree with that point. You can't keep everybody, right? Kid comes up, has one good game. Next thing you know, Seth Jones is on the roster. Lucas Carlson. Yeah, Bournefoot's not quite ready. We just need one more. Damien says, I want Mackey from Ricard trade. Avs might bite on that. I think we'd have to give him more. He's got a contract. He's not a free agent, is he? Because Ekblad's the best defensive free agent. Fake news says Sordiff and E2 fourth line center no scratch next year. Yeah. Next year, you're talking about Makar, Damon. Craig says, like Gadjo, but he's not the brawler they need. Too many Sasquatch guys. He's expected to fight. Get Olivier from Columbus. Chopper says you're not getting traded. Well, I tell you, what do we got? We got a week, right? Because, yeah. Rosado, what did I think of Noel the other day? He's slowed down a little bit. He's viable. He's a functional veteran guy that won't screw things up on you. Makar's not a UFA till 27, 28. What's that contract going to look like? Right? That's going to be a crazy deal. Who else have they been talking about other than how much for Erica Branson? Oh my God. That would be full circle for the channel. Because that's the year I started the channel. Was pissed off that we traded Gabranson and Kulikov. And then, yeah, if we get Gabranson and win the cup with Gabranson and Kulikov, that'd be the end of the channel. It would just close the book so nicely. That would be it. You start the story one way, you finish it another, and I retire and go fishing. Just go live in the van down by the river. Chavez says, if we're going to get someone out of Pittsburgh, it needs to be Boulier. Getting Achari just because of his face-offs is dumb, in my opinion. Well, we need somebody, though, Chopper. I mean, like I said, like there's nobody off the bench. We just sent the entire bench back to the AHL with Sordiv. Can't believe they only let the dude play one game. I mean, Gadjevich had a fight the other day. Doesn't he always get hurt? Anyway, yeah, McCarr will get 19, sure. Lilja says we already have Nosek. Achari would literally do just the same thing. Yes, no disagreement. But right now, but that's what we need for a playoff run, is what we're saying. You need two of those guys in case one gets hurt, right? Vincent says that's why they sent Rantanen away, because of McCarr. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. They're going to regret that when the Canes send Rantanen back to Vegas, and then Vegas beats Colorado in the playoffs with Rantanen. Is going to happen. I want to see it happen just for the laughs. Yeah, who Grzelcyk? Think that's how you pronounce his name? Here's a question for you, Chopper. What does Talk to Text say when I ask about Matt Grzelcyk? Let's see. Matt Grzelcyk. Holy shit, it took it. It took it. It literally took it. Somebody said he's hurt. I mean, Pittsburgh should just be, I don't know why they're not selling. When's the last game he played? No, he's playing recently, so he must not be too hurt. Pittsburgh is just absolutely just giving up. Savasi, can we make a run and Rantanen? I don't think it's a need. It wouldn't make any sense for us to do that. We're not going to be able to re-sign him no matter what we do. I don't and Canes, and when, like I said, with the Canes would charge us double, right? Canes aren't going to help us beat them. Loj says it seems like we all agree that we need Schmidt off the ice more than we need Achari. Yeah, that's why I was saying in the Seth Jones thing, like, is there anybody on here? Let's look. Is there anybody on the Chicago roster that they could throw in as bottom six depth to sweeten the deal? Let's see. Let's see who's on the Blackhawks. Somebody that they could give us Bedard, right? I don't see what the problem would be. Oh, Donato. But he's probably... Is Donato a free agent? Because I know Rosato's been talking about getting Donato. Oh, Pat Maroon. Yeah, Pat Maroon. Pat Maroon is slower than Ekblad, right? So Maroon's on the Blackhawks. Wouldn't that be something? I would hate to have that guy on my team. But what's his contract? He's got to be on just some 1-year deals, right? It's spelled out moron. Let's see. 1 year, yeah. So he's just on a 1-year deal, so that's nothing. I kind of like that idea. What about Donato? Vince says we're not Donato. Yeah, he's free agent. He's going to be a free agent. What would they make us give up? I mean, now that would be good depth, no doubt. Donato would be good depth. Probably Bertuzzi out of Chicago. Good luck to us. I agree, you got Vlog. They should just send Bedard, right? Just send Bedard. Bennett with Bedard and Samaskevich. Send Chucky to the third line. I'm kidding. No, you'd have to send Verhaeghe in the deal. So now you got Barkov, Reinhart, Kachuk, Bennett with Bedard and Samaskevich. Look at me, I'm putting Bedard on the second line. Yeah, Donato would be good. Donato or Maroon. I mean, that's what I was saying is if they could throw in somebody. Bedard's not ready for playoff hockey. No, I know. Can you imagine? He'd get absolutely plastered. Can you imagine Bedard in a series like against the Lightning, with the Panthers against the Lightning or Ottawa? The kid would not live through it, man. Right? He wouldn't live through it. Chopper says Bedard and Vlasic for Schmidt seems fair. We could at least give him Kirsten in the deal. Yeah, so if they could include somebody that, because that is another need. We do need one more bottom six guy just by the numbers. So if they could include somebody Donato's going to cost something. Maroon would just be thrown in for free, right? Maroon would just be thrown in for free, but Donato's going to cost. And then, but he's a free agent, so you're basically just renting him. Because where are we going to sign him next year? We're going to make him 4C. He's a little too good to be 4C, isn't he? Right? Plus, he's going to want to get paid. Right? Plus, we got half of Seth Jones' salary. Yeah, he's got 19 goals. He's not going to be the 4C. Hell, I mean, that's more than our 3. That's more than Lundell usually gets. That's about Lundell. Well, what if it was Bennett? What if they decided that they weren't going to re-sign Bennett, and it was just Bennett for Jones and Donato? I mean, obviously we might have to throw in a pick or something, and then you're just gonna go Barkov, Lundell, Donato. How does that smell? If we had already decided we were moving on from Bennett, don't get me wrong. I want to keep Sam Bennett, right? I'm just playing devil's advocate now. I'm not talking about what I want to do. I'm just making deals. If you already knew you were going to get rid of Sam Bennett, then just says can't trade Bennett. He's too important for playoff hockey. Now, I don't disagree there. I don't disagree. But Donato's not bad. Interesting. Right. That's, yeah. No, Vincent says real question is what would the Hawks ask for Jones' retention? Yeah. Yeah. That's a problem. Because now you're probably talking about in the imaginary trade, sort of, right? But if you're getting Donato in the deal, the need for Sordiff to immediately come up and be in your top 9, that kind of gets alleviated, right? Shafashi says losing Bennett will close our cup window. I said I didn't say this is what I wanted to happen. I'm just tossing shit up there because if any of y'all should know that there is no team that we should ever say somebody would never get traded, it's the Panthers, right? We should all, as Panther fans, we should know that at any given moment we could wake up and like dudes that were cornerstone pieces are just going to be gone. Damien says you do Bennett for ranting every day. Yeah, different thing. No, I don't want to lose. Don't get me wrong. I said, you guys are like my ex-girlfriend. I said I didn't want to do it, And now you're beating me up like I said I wanted to do it. Huh? Don't be trying to gaslight me like the idea was my problem. I prefaced it and told y'all this is not what I would do. Just because you guys got hearing issues, don't blame that on me. Jobber says trading Ekblad for Jones would be like going from ass to ass. Yeah, Rosado, she earned it, man. She earned that shade. Vincent. Anyway, you never know what's going to happen, right? Yeah, Ranton too greedy, right? 14 million. Problem is he's kind of being exposed now in Carolina, right? Well, got to think about what Chicago would want. They're going to want Sorda. If they ain't going to want Bennett, they're going to want a young player. They know Samoskevich. But Vincent. I'm trying to think if Zito's trying to make this deal and we're trying to also get Donato at the same time. How much for Josby hosted a family feud? I'm cheap. That's easy. You got vlog says we need to stop sending our key prospects because, in my opinion, we really don't have too many in the system to begin with. Well, it just depends on what you're getting in return, right? Bill J says, I wouldn't trade Sordia for Samuel because they're in our system now, but as for St. Martin or Sachin, they're younger and haven't really played for us, so then maybe then. I really don't want to get rid of Sordia either because he looked like he fit in just fine. But why are they not letting him play? I thought for sure. It seemed like an obvious thing. You sit Gadjevich's ass on the bench, let him rest, right? What are they going to do? Call Sordia back up when they finally put Chucky on IR? Stupid. I see that, iDog. Yeah, Rantanen was a McKinnon merchant, right? I see that, iDog. Next thing I know, all right, Bente. Next thing I know, y'all will clip it. Huh? I didn't say trade Bennett. Not for Seth Jones. Bedard. How about Bennett for Bedard and Donato? Come on now. How about that? Sourdough. Yeah, I like that. Dietrich says, I remember seeing Sordia play last season during preseason in person. Yeah, I mean, if we weren't in a Stanley Cup window, he'd be on the team. Vincent says Sordia was a given, but what else? A second next year, a fourth this year, and a third in 27. Yeah, garbage, though, man. I'm tired of giving up all our picks, right? If you're going to get Jones and Donato. Sour Patch. That's a good point. Greg says Edmonton will be feisty, so maybe Gadjevich and to lose another fight, right? Versus Sordiff. Yeah, but they sent, I mean, I can understand maybe that's why they wouldn't have him in, but they sent them down. So it don't make any sense unless Chucky's only like a week away. Like, let him stay up for 5 minutes. We play Saturday and Monday. When's the last time Gadjevich played 5 straight games and didn't get hurt? That's the other thing. I mean, I love the dude, but he's always hurt. There's no reason under these circumstances you can't just let Gadjevich sit there and rest for the playoffs and let Sordiff get 5 games in, even if he's only getting 4 flying minutes. Don't make no sense. But then, like Vincent said, you can't let the kid get hurt now if he's possible trade bait. So that sucks because he's not wrong with that. He's not wrong with that. When are we coming back down, Rosado? The hope is next January and maybe January and February we're going to spend down there. I don't know how. I'm sick of the cold, man. I'm really sick of the cold. I ain't gonna lie. But it's too expensive to live down there. I couldn't buy this. I couldn't buy a third of this house down there. It's crazy. Dietrich says apparently he has to be on IR for a bit before LTIR. Oh, yeah, I know. I know he said he felt better, but does anybody believe what Chucky says? Right? I mean, you can tell in the Four Nations, he's like, they're asking him, how does he feel? I'll be ready to go. He don't say nothing. You can tell the dude wasn't right. Can't trust him to say how he feels. He literally would be the Monty Python guy out there hopping around on one leg saying it's just a flesh wound. Airmax says, now we're going to make Draisaitl pay for what he did to Barkov. Good point. Shrek 5? They're doing a Shrek 5? Good Lord. That's so unnecessary. That's not needed. Okay. All right, I got to roll. I just got a message that I got to deal with. Close to that time anyway. All right, we will see you tonight. I think it's the 7 o'clock game. And that's it. Thank you all for joining me. Gotta run. Boy, I need a nap too.